All right. Welcome back, everybody. We are live, and I'm with one of my favorite watch friends and a great community member, someone with his own channel as well, with his own platform. That's Basil's Bezels, or as I like to call him, Big Bass. How are you
Thank
doing?
you. Thank you. I'm well, thanks. How are you?
Good, good. It's nice to see you, and thank you again for sharing this moment with me and helping my comeback in an important way. I
Yeah,
really appreciate that.
definitely pumped to have you back.
So we set a small goal as we heat things up, as we prepare things. It's just like five super chats of $2 or higher to get the ball rolling. Because Basil, as far as I understand, has three different watches in store for us. So it's not too much to
Correct.
ask, I think.
I think it's a fair request. I think it's a fair request. It's going to be a fun night regardless, but hey, if we can get to all three, that'll be even better.
Absolutely. Um, Basil, remind us where you stand in terms of your collection, in terms of your collecting habits. Um, I I see someone in you who has a very educated taste, very specific taste, but someone also who doesn't want to miss a good opportunity when a deal comes by. So tell me a little bit about how you have been collecting, how you have been snapping up these watches in the last couple of years or so.
Yeah, so I think that pretty much defines me to a T. I'm somebody that I like to kind of have a blueprint of aspirational pieces. I'm one that does like to kind of buy on a deal, though. Some things can be had at greater deals than others, and just chase after certain pieces. But at the same time, like at this point in my collecting, quote unquote, collecting journey, right? I feel like I've kind of established like kind of a good blueprint as far as where I want to be, but at the same time, I'm always looking to grow, to add. My last few pieces, I've kind of dabbled a little bit into some neo vintage. I
Mhm.
actually snagged something a little newer from Angelus Turbian, which is, it's a higher
Oh,
end piece that I was able to find at a pretty strong price. And yeah, and these pieces tonight, they're not they're like kind of like a mid range, without giving too much away. Lower mid range, definitely like what we would kind of consider maybe even like entry level luxury. But good watches, fun watches. Something that kind of came to me in an opportunity kind of sense. So, but value. I'm somebody that I've held certain pieces, some I've let go, but ultimately it's just kind of experiencing watches,
mhm.
enjoying the hobby, and yeah, a lot of this kind of just like communicating, talking to people, kind of seeing what's out there, and just having fun.
So C3D now. Thank you so much for this
Thank you.
contribution. That gets us one step closer to our first unboxing.
Yeah,
Um, Without necessarily revealing these, but they can be included as well in response to the question I'm going to ask.
sure, please.
Um, are there any pieces that have eluded you so far for one reason or another, and something that you are really looking forward to adding to your collection? Even maybe one of these three was that, but unless it was, can you describe what you're looking for at this moment, what you want to buy?
It's funny because I feel as though I'm kind of an open mindset kind of collector, where I'm not really dead set on anything. Like it would be, there might be a handful of things that may catch the eye. However, I'm not really saying, I need this piece and this is going to really kind of take my collecting to a certain place or to kind of fill a certain void. I feel like, I've touched a lot of different as far as like genres of watches, from chronographs to divers to dress to neo vintage.
Hmm.
And these pieces are more just modern contemporary stuff.
And
And a little bit
what's
pricier.
your favorite piece right now that you just
Yeah.
can't stop wearing at the
You
moment?
know, it's funny. And it really becomes like these, I'd say like these 2 week like affairs where I'm in a piece like pretty much in a stretch, wearing it every day, enjoying it. And then I kind of get a little bored and then I kind of go into something else. So I would say if I were really to pick like one, the Angelus is probably the piece that's like the special piece. Like if I was, if I had like an occasion or just something where I really like, I want just a fun, cool watch,
Have you
probably be that one.
do you have it at
Yeah.
hand?
I
Do you have
don't
it?
actually. I
You don't.
don't have it with me currently. It's actually
In the
it's actually in
vault,
storage right now.
in
Yeah.
the safe.
So but I could quickly and easily, with a day's notice, of course, have access.
Sure. Maybe next time you jump on the panel, we'll see it on your wrist,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
rush.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always, there's something about the tourbillon that excites me
Mm.
always, because it has a lot to do with, of course, how I got socialized into watches, how I became a collector, even though at that time in the early 2000s, I was mostly interested in minimalist pieces. Tourbillons were all the rage, right? Everyone was trying to everyone
I
was
think I lost you
trying
for a
to
sec. My bad.
no, no,
Hold
no
on.
worries.
I think I'm muted.
No,
Or
no, you are. I can hear you. I can hear you fine. um yeah, they were all the rage at that time. Every brand was releasing one. All right, he's gonna come back. But there's something about the tourbillon on a wristwatch where initially, at least, it was understood to be not necessary as a regulatory mechanism, but nevertheless was appreciated for the kind of romantic appreciation it added to the wristwatch. And of course, still serving um, by compensating for the different positions some measure of chronometric precision, for sure. In the meantime, please hit the like button, guys. The link is there, by the way, if you want to join the conversation, if you want to jump on the panel, you're more than welcome. I think Basil is going to return quite soon. I'll just kindly remind you of our super chat goals. We are 4 super chats away, and we have a little more than 15 minutes left for us to expedite the first unboxing. But in the meantime, hit the like button. That doesn't cost anything and is certainly well appreciated and boosts our morale, if nothing else, for sure. And Basil is back.
so sorry about that. Yeah,
No worries.
it went ballistic for whatever reason. So my apologies.
So the Angelus tourbillon is the one that you're wearing more often, even though you like cycling out of watches
Yeah,
every other week or so.
I would say, yeah, that's kind of this. It's been a fun one.
Yeah, and one of our friends in the chat says, I like to keep some watches in the bank box, not just for security reasons. I enjoy going there every month to swap out and rediscover old friends. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, why don't we start with one, since we still have 2 more in store, and we
Yeah,
can use this super chat goal to perhaps expedite the second one, or reveal the
yeah.
second one.
I think that's
Start
a
with
great idea.
start with either one you like. It doesn't have to be uh, necessarily the hottest brand, but probably the one that you're most excited about. I think that's always a
Yeah,
great one to share.
cool. So I will actually start with the most recent, and it comes with a kind of a cool story. So
But we love stories here,
yeah.
So,
So this is a watch that I picked up pretty recently. It's been a little while that I've had, it's actually been the one that's been on the wrist the last like about a week and a half ish. So
Okay. Still in
uh,
the honeymoon?
still in the honeymoon, still enjoying it. But it really kind of, to circle back, we recently, actually, myself and a group of local collectors had a night where we met up at a small local jeweler who has a few brands, and got to kind of see what they had. A lot of people had their watches. Good night to kind of just chit chat. Have a little to drink. Have a little to eat. Meet some new people, see some old faces, and it was a lot of fun. So fast forward about a month, maybe actually is really about maybe like 2 months ago that we had this night, and I end up meeting, well, actually, kind of communicating with people on Facebook, and it was kind of said that there was a big sale at the retailer that I shopped at. Thank you, MCM.
Is this the? We are going to go back to MCM's super chat. Is this the meeting that you were talking about? This picture you posted on
Actually,
Instagram?
this is a meeting that was after the one that I'm mentioning.
Okay.
So this one was more at like kind of like a little restaurant, kind of like in their little banquet area that they cleared out and had us, we were able to kind of spread out and chat. But it was like a similar get together, though this one was actually at a jeweler.
By the way, the guy behind you here looks like me with an even worse hairline, if that's ever possible. It's kind of
I
a
can see
look-alike.
a slight resemblance, I guess.
Yeah. MCM, by the way, was a member of the channel as well. Thank you so much for this generous super chats, $10. Took delivery of my Ferdinand Berthoud chronometre FB3 SPC last night. I think I'm done. LOL, celebrating. Cheers, guys. We are celebrating with you, MCM. I know you made the decision to contact Cellini Jewelers for this particular watch while you were listening to one of my live streams as well, and while we were talking about what seemed like a missed opportunity for you on an auction. And I'm glad that actually turned into a purchase, a watch that you will enjoy for some years to come. And I hope next time I see you, like I did at Watch Time New York, where you had your Voutilainen on the wrist, I will see the Ferdinand Berthoud on your wrist next time. That will be another moment to remember, cherish, and share. Wear it in great health.
Awesome pickup, man. Congrats.
So yeah, we can see that you have a penchant for everything Gucci.
Yeah, tonight it's a little the same.
Well, same but different.
Same but different. Same but different.
So, what are we looking at? Hi, JJ. Nice to see you as well.
So yeah, so just to kind of fast forward a little bit, just kind of chatting in our Facebook group, the retailer that we that we visited was doing this huge sale. So I think what's happening, to make a long story short, we had at least a recent election. We also have a person retiring from a jeweler where it's kind of a family pivot where someone's retiring, somebody's taking ownership, and they're looking to kind of clear out some stock. So the piece that I actually acquired was kind of part of a markdown, and I knew a little bit of the markdown. However, when they say up to 70% off on jewelry or merchandise, you kind of think those are like the one-off things. It's not really going to be much. It may be just here and there. And I kind of just say, okay, whatever, that's cool. However, through the group, a couple of the guys did visit and kind of checked out what was on sale, and it was kind of said like, there's some good stuff, you might want to check it out. So I was like, okay. So I found a piece that it was actually funny. I kind of set a number that I was looking to spend because I knew the 70% off would kind of come to this number. And there wasn't anything that was hitting there. Actually, there was one thing that was hitting there, and sure enough, as I came in to the store, right behind me was another guy that was kind of part of this little clique, and he was checking out some stuff, and he actually saw the piece and was kind of going back and forth, and I kind of let him do his thing. So he got something really cool that day as well. However, this piece that I went with wasn't in the display case. It would kind of came around the corner and said it was available. Again, granted, guys, like, don't get too excited because it's nothing crazy, but it
That's
was
okay.
a really good deal, and from a percentage standpoint, it is actually a really cool watch. It's a brand that I don't have. It has some cool little hints that I'll kind of say what I like about it as we kind of unbox it.
We
But
have, by the way, we have about 8 minutes left to hit our super chat goal. We are still a few super chats away from it. So if you would like to contribute and see perhaps even a second unboxing from Basil tonight, feel free. And thank you again, MCM and C3D Now, for your contribution so far. Hit the like if you haven't already. That always helps. Basil, I'm also reminded, we go back and forth and exchange deals that we see on eBay, Chrono24, and even on some websites. And I still remember, for example, that you picked up a beautiful Tonda 1950 with a diamond set bezel, and still to this day, I have hardly seen anything, at that price point.
yeah, that was a really crazy deal, and
And as you remember, that was also in a way kind of a clearance, because that was the moment where Parmigiani Fleurier had the new CEO coming in, Guido Terreni, who is the CEO now. They were trying to streamline their product lines, discontinue a lot of the older lines and focus really on the Tonda PF, and then work outwards from there.
correct.
And that was a similar great deal, and
Yeah.
that kind of deal hasn't yet come by, even though the watch market generally has been trending down. So sometimes it's the right time for a particular kind of watch.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of keeping that open mind, right? Like you may have a few things on radar, and as deals kind of approach, I guess I've always kind of been that way as just a consumer of just having a little bit of a wide spectrum of likes and things that I want to get into, and not being really dead set on that whale, and granted, I mean, if a whale came to me and it was the money was there, and the value was there, I think I'd definitely chase something like that down, of course, too. But sometimes, yeah, they're pick and pop, and if it works, it works. You take it. At least in my book.
Amazing. Luchabetic, we are only a couple away right now from the super chat goal, $10. Thank you so much, Luchabetic. Mark, a possible double unboxing, sign me up.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, now we are only one super chat away. AB, $2 chipping in to help the channel.
Awesome.
That's very helpful. Thank you so much. We are only one super chat away, so the second one might come as well. We have maybe less than 5 minutes left, so it has to squeeze in this. No, just about 5 minutes left, and we will even have a second unboxing. And there we go, Sean.
Thank you, Sean.
Sean, the goal is complete. That gives me great pleasure. Hello, gents. Great seeing Basil's bezels on. Travis Watts, thank you so much. $10. Met you in LA several weeks ago. Yes, I remember you. Great to catch a live stream. Thank you for the content. Thank you for being here. The content would be nothing if it weren't for people like Basil and you in the audience. So I'm so glad.
Thank you, guys.
Basil, we're in the United States of America. Of course, we love a good deal. Sometimes you just can't pass it up. As long as, like, when I go to Whole Foods, it's always the things that are marked with the sales ticket, that yellow ticket, that I go after.
Yeah.
it doesn't matter whether I'm in the mood for it, whether I need to eat it, whether
It's
I even like it.
yeah,
It's a deal. Get 2 for
yeah.
5.
You know,
Sign me
sometimes
up.
it opens you up. It opens up your palate, and you try different things. And hey, why not, right? I'm the same
And
way.
it, it makes you, sometimes it pushes your body's boundaries and gets you to an overweight situation, which is something that sometimes we can say about our watch collections too, right? Sometimes we stretch ourselves too wide and need to reel things back in.
Yep.
But
Then comes the
it's kind of
purge.
it's the natural history of collection in a way. So
Absolutely.
what do you say now that we have
I think
promised a
it's
second watch as well?
yeah,
Let's
yeah. I
start with
have
the
the
first
second one
one.
on standby, and the first one ready to unbox. So it comes in a gray box. Doesn't really give too much away, but here it is. I don't know if that says anything. I'll kind of cover it. But yeah. So gray box. And let's see if I can give a little more. So, yes, a little bit more context. It's an Oris.
Ooh.
So I went with something from Oris. I don't have anything Oris yet. And this is my first Oris piece.
Let's see it.
So we got a nice box. Pretty good presentation here,
50
You
Shades
got
of Grey.
a little slide out jobber there. And in the box,
There's some guesses already in the chat. Pro Pilot X laser dial, Ryan Hoffrey says. Let's see what it is, what it might be.
So we have a boom. It's the ProDriver 65.
All right.
With kind of like a little bit of a fume kind of effect dial and a little bit of almost like a lit loom indices going on. So just to give you a closer look.
That's a nice color on the dial. I like it.
Yeah, it is. And it was something too, like when I first saw it, I was like, okay, like that looks kind of cool. Let me check it out, try it on. So this is a 40 millimeter. And you got that.
A little more towards the middle.
Yep, yes, sir.
All right, perfect.
Trying to avoid that glare. I'm catching a little bit of light there, but
it's like Tiffany blue indices. Tiffany blue indices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. I think I found the sweet spot. Maybe a little more that way. Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a good watch. So just to give you some context, so it's funny because they had it at 70% off.
Feel free to put it on the wrist as well.
Absolutely. So 70% off, and it was actually more than 70% off because they had it priced at the old pricing. So it was actually like priced at, I guess they did a little price bump. So it was a watch that was a $2,500 watch. They bumped up to 27, and they took the pricing off of the 25. So we're talking like way under 800 for this thing. And yeah, and it's been
That's
cool.
great.
Yeah, it's been really good. It fits well, feels good. It's nice and light, but it has a little heft to the actual watch head. Really cool.
The thing that most people these days complain about Oris is the rising prices. So
yeah,
if you can actually snag an Oris Diver 65 for basically cheaper than Seiko Prospects at retail, that's
where it's at. Yeah, that's what
amazing.
made it worth my while. That is such a solid price and a good value.
Sean says, congratulations, Big Base.
Thank you, Sean.
Good health. By the way, guys, with that, we have started our new countdown. We might get a third unboxing if we get 4 more super chats of $5 or more. That's the amount for the next goal. maybe we'll even see the third one. But let's. I was wondering, because you said you entered right around the same time with another watch friend, and he went for the watch that you had first set your eyes on. So it was either going to be that or this Oris. What was that?
Yeah.
What
So
was that
it
one?
was actually the so I believe it's I want to say it's the Aquas that does that recycled plastic dial.
Uh-huh.
One of the Aquases. So it, it's a watch that I kind of recognize a little bit. I'm not that affluent with RS as a brand. To be fair, I was kind of almost thinking like, oh, maybe I can pick up like the big Crown Pointer date. That would be a cool watch, from the brand. And
Mm.
sure enough, it was. I found the 65, and that was my go-to. Yeah, that was yep. So one of my fellow local collectors actually snagged this guy up, and he, I think, was priced. He was under 800 on that bad boy, so he did
Nice.
quite all right.
Well, I have to say, first of all, props to Oris for, um, being woke for us hairy guys, hairy wrists. Great presentation there. I approve. Um, that's
All
amazing.
risks matter.
Yeah, hairy wrists
Hair
matter.
risks are cool.
Uh, but that dial is very, very interesting, actually. I like it. It reminds me kind of a mix of an urban camouflage
Mm.
to maybe a little bit of a, you know, look of a semi-precious stone dial that no one has discovered yet. So even if you don't necessarily sign up to the environmentalist agenda that these brands perpetuate, not that there's anything wrong with saving and protecting the environment, don't take me wrong, there's something of visual appeal in this watch, I think, that not many other pieces has. I like your silver dial quite a bit as well. Can we take another look?
Absolutely, yeah, you bet.
Let's get you on solo again. Yeah, I like it. I was actually just looking at some of the Seiko Prospects pieces that have the blacked out aesthetic with a similar color of loom as well, and that's a very nice color. That's a very nice
Yeah.
color for loom. And how does it glow in the dark? In the same color or?
It does. So yeah, so it's funny because when I think of those accents, my mind goes right to the IWC,
Ah,
the AMG
Petronas.
one where at the Hamilton, yeah. I go right to that watch, and loving kind of like that watch really kind of caught my eye when it came out. I was like, oh, that's such a cool watch. It came with the different color straps, and like kind of like my kind disappointment was that the loom, like, well, those indices didn't loom. A lot of them were just markings, So your
Yeah.
Arabics didn't really pop. It was just more I believe it was just the hour minute, that loomed in the dark, at least from what I'm aware. So, which seemed a little odd to me. Like you just expect it.
It does, yeah. I have to say that was also one of the low points of the watch for me, right? Because
Yeah,
I did well. First of all, also, it's not exactly jumping on a trend in this case, because those are the Petronas colors as well, right?
correct. Yeah, yep.
If you're going to make a team watch for Petronas AMG, this is the color to choose. But like you said, when you have actually at hand or the availability of using Superluminova that is colored like that and possibly glows in that similar color,
Sure.
why not? Right?
Roll
That
with
would be
it,
that'd be
right? Yeah.
pretty
Yep.
cool.
So, and in turns, it's funny because my watch technically came out like slightly before this watch. Granted, they're very different watches. You know, you have a chronograph. You know, mine's a diver. But it was funny because like the Oris actually came out slightly before that watch, and the indices and you know our hands, you know, minute do loom. And granted, it could be a stronger loom, but it looms and it kind of keeps true to like you know the effect that the aesthetic of the watch is kind of given in a non-loom you know format.
Yeah, I wanted to also show people what I meant when I talked about the Seiko Black
Mm.
series, because those are actually quite sexy looking watches. Where's the ones that I think they might have been limited editions that already sold
Yeah, oh,
out.
there you go. Yeah, I think further down, yeah.
And honestly, I mean, in your watch, in your Oris, it looks a little more elegant. Maybe this is a stronger contrast
Sure.
and maybe less attractive for that. But I still thought when these first came out, actually, it was quite interesting.
Yeah. And I think, you know, to go a little bolder, you know, and this something look a little more modern where like the Diver 65, it kind of has a little bit of that vintagey. So
Mhm.
like I looked at it first, I was kind of like mentally like, is this going after almost like the look of like a reloom in a way? But I was like, well, not really. Like a reloom will look a little different, you know, as far
Mhm.
as you know the indices would go. But it kind of works, you know, and it's just fun. So why not?
Let's see. Let's pull. Oh, did they?
It is actually still on catalog. It might be a little. It's a 40 mil without date. So it should be somewhere. I would imagine.
I'll find it in the meantime.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
let's start talking about. Okay, it's here.
yeah. There we are. Yeah, and didn't mine did come with bracelet.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great deal. That's a great
Yeah,
deal.
it really, really like I couldn't not snag it, and you know, and that was the thing too. Like you always have, like for me, it was like those deals that you're not expecting. You just kind of like sometimes you got to kind of slow down and process it, and that was kind of where I was at, where I was like, yeah, I want to do this. Like, it's not going to prevent me from getting the next one, and you know, it's you know, like if you're getting close to 800, so it's money, it's real money, right? Like, but it's not going to prevent me from getting the next one. So I'm like, you know, why not? And if I were
Yeah.
to need to get out for whatever reason, it's like there's money there. Plus, they sold it to me for such a good value. Like, I can enjoy it and not even worry about it, and then like
And
ship
you
it
know,
out if need be.
it doesn't really
Right?
hurt
Yeah.
to enhance your relationship, even when it's a smaller purchase with a
Mm.
local dealership, right?
Yeah, yeah, you know, and they're good people. You know, that's a good family. You know, they hosted us. They were excited. They're looking, you know, forward to the next time we want to come up sometime next year. There's actually a few members of the group. It's really local to where I am. It's probably I would say it's under 10 miles away, and a lot of actual my buddies in this group are local to my area too, so they were, you know, they've already shopped and bought from this jeweler, and you know, have all been kind of had happy experiences even without like this crazy like blow up pricing. So it's good
So
stuff.
Travis Watts was saying, I picked up a Bulova oceanographer GMT from the Citizen outlets at Cabazon. Apparently, that's in our neck of the woods. I mean, it's not next door necessarily, but it's in Southern California.
Sure.
Couldn't help myself. Best value Traveler GMT on the market for sure. It is that's a great value when you think that it's again 1350 at retail, purchase for less than $500.
Yeah, I can't
Um,
lose.
that's amazing. We have our second unboxing since we promised that, even
That's right.
though,
That's right. So
and
yeah.
we have possibly a third one. You know, that's 16 minutes away with 4 more super chats of $5 and more. Why not? We can still hold out some hope for that, but let's start thinking or at least talking about the second one. What kind of story leads you to this one, Basil?
So yeah, so the next one actually made it to my world in the form of a trade.
Okay.
So I ended up getting out of my Explorer one, and you know, it's funny, they say never sell Rolex. It's easy to sell Rolex, but never sell Rolex. And I sold an Explorer one, and I did pretty good. It was like a kind of a break even with this trade. And this I wasn't looking for a trade. I was looking mostly for cash, though I had an interesting offer. It was pretty much with the trade. It kind of put me like over my target mark,
Okay.
just with kind of fair value of the watch that I was given in return. So it's something that I'm going to hold on to, unless if somebody
Unless
comes
something
into
else
my
comes up.
world and tells me otherwise and wants to take it off my hands, but I think I like it. So it's a yellow box. Another brand I didn't have prior to
Let's
getting
see.
into it. So, yeah. So give you a little more context. Give away the brand. Bam. Longines.
All right.
So
Okay.
we get a Longines. And this one actually has a better par reserve and a date function. So Longines actually, they give you a nice little box. So this is part of their master collection. And boom.
Oh, nice.
There it is, yeah. So just a little something simple, 40 mil. You got a date. And yeah, and it's gonna be probably hard to get in the light. The markers are really impressive on this watch. It has Romans and it's silver with a blue. These suckers like really pop.
Oh yeah.
You get a little bit, but it's like
No, we see it. We see
really
it.
pretty markers. So, but yeah, just steel bracelet and kind of a pretty big because I looked at like the value of these things and they go for pretty good money. Factory straps. Actually, I retract some of that. It one factory and then one kind of aftermarket, which is still decent. So it's a blue strap that they also sell the watch on a blue strap, but really nice with deployant, OEM strap, brand new, by the way.
Cool.
So yeah, these aren't cheap. And just it was thrown in with the deal, which gave me some value there. So this guy is a factory. This guy is actually an aftermarket. The aftermarket one's pretty decent too, though the factory one, just having the company branding on there. See if I can get it.
Luchabetic Mark says, Basil, great job, nice job.
Thank
Two
you.
great and underappreciated brands.
Thanks, man. Yep, and then I had extra links were thrown and included. And my first watch was pretty much fully stickered. I don't even think they had it on display. Like I think it was just literally like an extra that kind of got like lost in the shuffle. It was fully stickered. And I just had it sized and took it to go. So that was my Longines and my Oris.
We have, by the way, about 12 minutes for our next goal, which means Basil is going to unbox not one, not two, but three watches for us. Two more super chats of $5 or more will get us there, because we got from Sean, Longines is a great brand. I like it. Congratulations again.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh, those are two cool pieces and very different from each other. So that's always a good thing.
Yeah. It was funny too. Like, when you're doing things like trades, you're kind of like, I just, dude, like, just give me the cash.
Right.
But it's like I'm giving you pretty much like the cash you're asking, and he was probably like under 500, and giving me a watch that probably gray market's like 15 with like a $300 strap that at that time was like sold out for Longines. There's so much value there. It's like I'd be stupid not to take it. Like it just kind of worked out. I'm not gonna lie. I shopped around a little bit on Facebook Marketplace because hey, do I need another watch? But I started wearing it a little bit. I'm like, you know what? This is kind of a cool watch. Like I'm
Yeah.
gonna be happy keeping it. So
I think honestly, Longines does offer quite a lot of value still.
yeah,
Hopefully it won't become one of those Swatch Group brands that at least have two price hikes per year to
yeah,
get to a level where it can't necessarily be sustained. But until now, I think it's a fantastic value. Especially, I like their dress watches and chronographs, and perhaps it's because a lot of the brand equity, a lot of the brand heritage is found on some great chronograph movements, some great chronometers, etc. So it kind of fits with the image that I have in my head as well, which never hurts, for a heritage brand to stay within the lines of that heritage.
yeah. And that we're saying, I mean, they definitely have, great archives, right? You can't recreate history if you have the archives and you're willing to, do them justice and put them out and get them to the masses, and you probably have a little something there, right? You just got to execute and make it fair.
Yeah, I have really liked the ones that have these engraved numerals I think that was also in the master collection. I don't know if they still have it because let's see, I want to pull it up. Yeah, they do still have them, and even more expanded, I guess. And again, the fact that they offer them in so many different sizes, 34, 38 and a half, 40. But yeah, I really like these.
Yeah. That's really sharp.
Of course, as I usually do, I chose the lady size, but that's okay. I have small wrists, nice unisex representation there.
There we go. Hey, that's how they historically were, so you just keep it true to the heritage.
Yeah, why not? Why not? But yeah, I think they have great dress watches, great chronographs as always. Their take on the pilot's chronograph, the Avigator Big Eye is a pretty good watch as well, both in stainless steel and titanium. I certainly like their Heritage line and Master line as well. Those are two great pickups. We have a little bit more time, and only two more super chats to go in about 7 minutes. Two super chats of $5 or more.
Yeah.
So we might still make it. Billy Jeans PhD says Long Jeans Spirit 37 and Legend Diver are such excellent timepieces. MD Chess says, what could be next? Maybe a Baume et Mercier. What if it's another Oris? Well, MD, you can expedite that, and you can try to see what it is by throwing about $5 our way. And
Yeah. And it's kind of the same like level. It's not one of either brand that I did unbox. It is a brand that I do have in my portfolio that I got into this other piece, and it's pretty cool. And it was probably the only piece I actually really seeked. I actually kind of had two watches in mind, and I kind of said which one makes sense, which one's going to be where the value is at, and I pulled the trigger on it. It came actually in the middle of the two in my shopping. So the Longines I've kind of had for a little while, but I was withholding. I had it and didn't unbox it. I didn't even post on my Instagram. Like when I like to do these unboxings as here they are to the world, and
Mhm.
you're going to experience them real time with me. Because it's literally probably like it was actually I was wearing the third watch at that authorized retailer they mentioned, and really probably the only person that's been in collecting that seen me in it was the person that got that Aquas with the fancy dial.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, guys, if you want to see the third watch, there's still your chance. Basil's YouTube channel is actually linked in the title, but I'm also going to drop the link right now uh,
Okay.
at Basil's Bezels. So if you want to subscribe to Basil's channel, please click that link, and maybe we will get you at least a handful subscribers. There are about
Cool.
21 people watching. Maybe some of them are not yet signed up. Please sign up to
Thank you. Yeah.
Basil's
It's
YouTube
a work
channel.
in progress. It's a work in progress. But hey, more subscribers will definitely motivate me to put out
Of
some more
course,
content
always.
and have some fun.
And feel free to follow him on Instagram as well.
Yes, please. And like for like, if you do, I'll try to follow you back.
I love it. We have kind of veered away from that spirit, unfortunately. Um, the Instagram is full of these bozos who follow you, and then when you follow them back, they unfollow you.
I know. Yeah, it's funny. I've seen a few of those. I've seen them from the high, and I've seen them from the low, and I've seen them everywhere in between.
The thing
But
is,
yeah.
I think some of the people are told, and I think it works for some, that's a good way to gain new followers and maintain that ratio, like where they try to follow as little as possible and try to get followed as much as possible.
Right. It kind of makes for more of a desirable, look.
Yeah. I
You know,
mean, look,
you're
it's there's so many ways that people fake it on social
mm,
media. Sometimes it's fake it until make it.
yeah.
Sometimes they lack substance, and they always will. And there are a few people who did that to me, and I blocked them forever, never to be
That's fair. Hey,
unblocked.
games aren't always appreciated.
No,
You
I
know.
mean it's not a. I think organic growth is what we are about,
Yeah,
Basil. That
absolutely.
I guess it's something you represent in your name and symbol as well. It's a beautiful, fragrant plant.
Yes.
Uh,
Just give me light, give me water.
keep
I'm
it,
good
keep it
to go.
organic. Keep it organic.
We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen.
Um, well, we have what we have a little bit more time, and maybe people are getting jealous, Basil. People don't want to see you unbox another watch. It's
I want to
they're
do
saying
it
it's
though.
enough.
I really want to do it. I want to do the third. I
These
want to make it a three.
two
Three.
watches, two watches tonight is
Yeah.
enough. Is that what they're saying, Basil?
If they've had enough, they've had enough. I want to do three though, but it's the
We have
people
time.
are
We have
are the
time.
one that choose.
We have time. Let's take a look. So we are Happy Meal, $5. Am I banned? Looking good. And Lucha Berek. Let's see the new Zodiac. We got it. We
Ooh.
got it. People have spoken. People said if Basil wants to unbox a third watch, we are here for it. Thank you,
Okay.
Happy Meal. And thank you, Luchabedic Mark. Let's see the new Zodiac, says Luchabedic. Is that a good guess? Is it close enough?
Not a Zodiac. I had a Zodiac at one time in my collection, but not currently. And this new watch is not a Zodiac.
Okay.
But Zodiacs are awesome.
Amazing. So what is it? What is it?
Okay.
What's in the box?
Well, actually,
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Yeah. I had 2 boxes parked bench side. I'm gonna run to get the other one. I'm glad we hit the 3.
I will try to juggle something in the meantime. So Basil has been with us for the last 50 minutes, helped the channel raise some great goals. GD has sent us 30 Argentinian pesos in the form of a super sticker. I really appreciate that, GD. Thank you so much. We had reached already all our goals for this live stream. Not right away, but starting at 8 p.m. my time, which is 11 p.m., of course, on the East Coast. I will also cover the rest of the part 2 of the Philips Hong Kong Toki watch auction, which focuses on Japanese collecting culture. I'm gonna drop the link right now in the chat if you wanna wait for that, if you wanna warm up to that, if you wanna already give that a like in advance. That's something always appreciated. So I'm leaving the link there. This will be the next live stream starting in about half an hour. And to respond to Von Krull's question, Von Krull, aka Dr. House, Basil's has unboxed an Oris Diver 65 with a lovely silver fumé dial or smoked silver dial that he picked up on basically a closeout sale, more than 70% off at retail. And then Longines Master, I believe, dress watch that he took in as part of an exchange deal, part of a trade, or rather part of a sale, right? He wanted to move on from his Rolex Explorer, did the move that people always suggest against. Rolexes are easy to sell, easy to move, but you're not supposed to sell them, right? That's one of the rules, unspoken rules, as it were, of watch collecting. But sometimes rules are there to be broken. If you are not wearing a watch at all and you want to move on from it for one reason or another, needing the cash is just as good of a reason as any. Not that I know what Basil's reasoning was, and I don't mean to pry, but in either case, obviously, people have sold Rolexes before and all sorts of other watches, and life goes on. It's never that big of a deal. Think of it this way, Basil. You could have been the guy who in 2010 bought 2 pizzas from Papa John's for 10,000 Bitcoin.
Oh, the Bitcoin. Oh my gosh.
So you can sell your Rolex, but don't fucking buy pizzas, or don't fucking sell Bitcoin to buy pizza, please.
Imagine that, right?
I will next time you see me, I'll buy you a pizza if you can. If you show me your Bitcoin wallet, I'll buy you a pizza myself, just so you don't sell it to then end up losing what could have potentially been generational wealth in $1 billion.
What? Oh man, like who would have thunk it, right? Those mining that Bitcoin is everything, right?
MCM, with all due respect, you're not the average collector. I know a lot of collectors, but the flex factor that I know and that I've personally also seen in your collection is at another level. I think, honestly, maybe because I'm a fanboy, I think there's always room for one Rolex in a collection. And in a way, MCM testifies to that as well, that he sold it all, but kept one. But yeah, if you're operating at the level where you have Voutilainen, where you have Ferdinand Berthoud, where you have Philippe Dufault, where you are, wearing Recep Recepi, so on and so forth. That's or Global Force, something like that. That's a very different direction that I can only contemplate in the form of hypothesis, fantasy, and much more perverse, imaginative ways. So
it's leveling up. It's leveling up. That's really what that's all about. I mean, that's next level stuff.
So let's, Roger Smith. That would be. I would probably, except of course what I got from my father, I would probably trade my own Rolexes too for a Roger Smith. Why not? Basil, we're here for the third unboxing. I don't think this has. Well, I have never hosted an unboxing where we had that three-peat from Basil.
I'm trying to think how many. There was one I did with you, actually. I don't know if I did these three. It might have been, though. It was the Cartier Santos, the Rolex 43, and the Panerai. I don't know if I did them all together, though. I think I might have.
I think it was okay. We started with why am I blank? We unboxed the Sea Dweller 43, and either the Panerai or
one or the other,
or the Santos, was an earlier piece that I hadn't seen. I think that was still a double unboxing. But I think,
and it was an iPhone. That was the third. It wasn't a watch, but it tells time. It was actually, I think it was on the whatever 2 generations back iPhone dropped, and I unboxed it. Literally got the delivery like that same day. It worked out. So not quite a 3. So we'll make it 3 today. We're gonna make it 3, and thank you guys for all the support. So so the third one comes in a black colored box. So, and
we're opening the black box, uncovering all the secrets. Let's see it.
Third one is a tag, and third one's a colorful tag. It has a color. There's 3 colors. Actually, I think there may even be a 4th boutique color that they incorporate with this one. So, okay. Oh, you can see it. It's yellow. So Formula 1, it's a newer next gen Formula 1.
Are you going to Vegas with it? Are you going to Vegas with it?
You know what? If Matthew Saluka didn't go crazy and leave the team, I might have actually gone to Vegas in it. Though it's not. Well, it has a little red, but yeah, that kind of hurt. That one hurt. So, but anyways, boom. And it's, just a quartz, something simple, something fun. I was thinking between this one and the Breitling Endurance. I wanted something that, I don't know, sporty, quartzy, something that did the 1/10 of a second with a chronograph. So, see if I get that there. Boom, boom. So, moving fast, time and stuff. Little different, as far as that 1/10. It was some, a chronograph feature I don't have on my other chronographs.
Yeah,
a lot bigger than that other chronograph I unboxed. That
and frankly, also, to get it at the mechanical level, unless you are getting one of those cool
Like the Zenith.
Girard Perregaux foudroyant rattrapante that they did for Ferrari. Actually, it's not particularly cheap to get it as a mechanical
Oh gosh,
composition
no.
for a flashing seconds.
Yeah, so it's big, but I don't have a huge wrist. I'm right around like a 6.75. I think the lugs aren't, overlapping, so I think I'm in a good spot here. It's fun. Why not?
Yeah, I mean your wrists are big enough to accommodate that. I don't think I could. I can't wear anything that's more than 42 on paper.
The
There are watches that are a little better designed and
yeah, well,
maybe
lug to
have a
lug,
curved
right?
case.
Yeah.
That's possible, but
The 43 mil Seamaster, when you had the two-tone, didn't look too bad. Do you feel like it was a little big?
this Sea Dweller 43 two-tone,
Yeah, Speedwell, my bad. Yeah.
I think that watch looks too big on my wrist, man.
Okay.
I really wanted that in even in both both stainless and two-tone, but especially the stainless steel one when it came out for as the 50th anniversary and had a single red taking after the first prototypes of the Sea Dweller.
Yeah.
Some people would know my vintage Rolex Grail is a double red Sea Dweller. So for me, Sea Dwellers have always been part of my aspiration, so to speak, because I like the Submariner. It's what I have. It's what I most cherish, and Sea Dweller, especially in its vintage cast, or even in neo vintage cast, it's like a super Submariner, right?
Yeah. Oh, that 40 mil that I like, because I do like modern. The ceramic 40 mil that it came out for that little window, like I want to say it was like 15 to like 18, like that was a cool watch, and being that the production was so limited, it's something that I can almost see as like a future, kind of a piece that people kind of want to get into.
Yeah, and I think again, I think the Sea Dweller 43 is still one of the pieces that one of my most favorite pieces in the current catalog. Make no mistake about it. But when I actually put it on my wrist,
it has some heft.
It just it looks too big for me.
It's a big 43. I think 42. Yeah, I get that cutoff. If you're around like a 6.5 inch wrist, right around that range, probably is like where it hits. And and a lug to lug is really everything too. That's really like probably the better part of the story that gets overlooked. When people are considering watches.
All right. Well, I think we will say our goodbye for now. We're not running away right away. I still want to recognize C3D Now, MCM, Luchabetic Mark, AB, Sean, Travis, Watts, Sean again, Luchabetic Mark, Sean, Happy Meal, Luchabetic Mark, and GD for all these super chats, all these contributions, super stickers. Of course, everyone in the chat, we thank you for your presence, for your support. And I know some of you have already done this, but for those of you who haven't, the links of both Basil's Instagram account and his YouTube channel, I will drop back to back right now. This is his Instagram account. And there is his YouTube channel. Please show the kind of lovely support that you show here to Basil as well, and give him a follow on Instagram and on his videos. Give him a few likes, and that will get him going and hopefully make him post more content, make him create more content. on his own as well, and I'm always happy, if he ever does live streams, on any occasion that I can support and appear, I'm more than happy to do that as well. But
Thank you.
thank
That's
you,
amazing.
Basil. That's
Yeah,
I have
thank
you
you,
to thank
man.
for tonight's success. We are going to jump on in about 20 minutes. I need to get a bite. Otherwise, I was going to do that immediately and try to cover the rest of the Phillips auction that I had started a couple of days ago. But I need to get a bite, catch my breath a little bit, maybe. And
Whirling.
of course, Basil, you are more than welcome to chime in the chat, jump on the panel, whatever you like to do in terms of participation.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm really grateful.
Pleasure as always.
Hit the like button on the way out. Subscribe to Basil's YouTube channel. Follow him on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. I'm always desperate
Please
for attention.
do yourself a favor if you're not, guys.
Thank you, Basil. Love you, man. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, everybody.
And I will see you on the next one. Until then, wear and enjoy your watches, guys. Goodbye.